Happy Tuesday and welcome to the first game of Replay Baseball on my channel. I've decided to break my Diamond Decade sets into 3 separate tracks with some pool play that I'll talk about more as the video progresses. But basically, we're going to be doing some round robin games in each Diamond Decade set that I have purchased. The one for the 40s and 50s, the second one for the 60s, the third one for the 70s, and the fourth one for the 80s. And we're starting today in the 1970s with a matchup that is or would have been a pretty big deal had they met in the World Series more than the one time in 1972. This is the 1974 Oakland A's at the 1975 Cincinnati Reds. And for my money, these, with apologies to Billy Martin and to Earl Weaver, these two teams were the best of the 70s. Or maybe I need to apologize to Danny Murtaugh and Chuck Tanner as well. But I think these two teams were the best two of the 70s in terms of needing to win a series. These would be the ones to pick in my book. Maybe you disagree or agree. Put some comments below and let me know what you think. We're going to be working our way around all of the Diamond Decades teams and getting them on my channel eventually as we work our way through replay. For these teams, the visiting 1974 Oakland A's today, winners of 90 games in 1974. They won the American League West over the Texas Rangers and defeated the Baltimore Orioles in the ALCS to go on and eventually defeat the Los Angeles Dodgers, winners of 102 games in the World Series. The 1975 Cincinnati Reds were 108 and 54. The manager for Oakland in 74 was Alvin Dark. The manager for the Reds in 75, of course, was Sparky Anderson. The sim that we're using is Replay Baseball. I have played about 25 games or so of replay, and I've got sort of my own rules picked out that I use and that I'm using at this point, but that's likely to evolve as we go along as well through more games. So let's get to the starting lineups and get this game of Replay Baseball going. Show you the cards for each team. For the visiting Oakland A's, leading off in center field, it's Billy North. Batting second at shortstop, it's Bert Campaneris. Batting third at third base, Sal Bando. Batting fourth in right field, Reggie Jackson. Batting fifth in left field, Joe Rudy. Batting sixth at first base, Gene Tennis. Batting seventh behind the plate, it's Ray Fosse. And batting eighth, playing second base, it's Dick Green. We're in a National League city, so no DH on the mound. Number 2 starter for the Oakland A's in 1974, Vida Blue. He was 17 and 15 with a 3.25 earned run average, and you can see on Replay Baseball they put the stats at the bottom of the card. For the 75 Cincinnati Reds, it's Pete Rose leading off at third base. Joe Morgan batting second at second base. Johnny Bench batting third behind the plate. Tony Perez batting fourth at first base. George Foster batting fifth in left field. Ken Griffey batting sixth in right field. Dave Concepcion batting seventh at shortstop. Cesar Geronimo batting eighth in center field. And on the mound for the Reds, their number 2 starter, Gary Nolan, who was 15 and 9 with a 3.16 earned run average in 1975. I played opening day between these two ball clubs offline. The winner was Cincinnati by a score of 8-5. This was also at Riverfront Stadium. The winner of that ball game was Don Gullett, and the loser was Catfish Hunter. Home runs in the game, it was kind of a homer fest for the Reds. 13 hits, home runs by Tony Perez, George Foster, and 2 by Ken Griffey, including a 3-run shot in the first. For Oakland, home runs were for Sal Bando. He had a 3-run homer, and Darren Johnson, who I used as a pinch hitter in the 5th inning, but I've since made cuts, and he's no longer on the ball club. He hit a pinch hit home run in the 5th. The Reds stormed out to a 7-0 lead. The A's had a 4-run 5th to sort of get back in the game, and the Reds added an insurance run in the 8th, and that was the scoring. All right, so it's 1-0 for the Reds is their record, and 0-1 for the Oakland A's. All right, so let's get to rolling. I'm going to be able to show you the cards and the dice rolls, which I will also tell you about. I'm not going to be able to show you the charts because the charts are this big, and I'm going to have to be looking at those. So, here we go. Alrighty, coming into this game, Billy North leading off. Center fielder for Oakland hit .260 in 1974. He steps in against Gary Nolan, and we are ready to roll. And the roll is a 44-6 on North's card, which gets you a 2. And that'll get you a second base roll for the 2, the blue 2 on the pitcher's card. So it's a 2 towards Joe Morgan. Joe Morgan's fielding rating is a 1, and that means that he fields it with no trouble and flips to Tony Perez. And we're underway with 1 out in the first on a 4-3 putout. Bert Campanera stepping in 1974. He hit .290 for the Oakland A's. Pitch from Nolan is a 3-5 on the hitter's card. So we have our first ballpark check. And a 2, which will get you a 3 on Nolan's card. So the 3-5 means we need to re-roll because we're in Campaneris' shaded box. And we do that by looking at Riverfront Stadium. So this is our column to determine if Campy's going to get himself a hit or not. We already know we have a 2 on the board for, I'm sorry, that's not true. Yeah, we have a 3 for Nolan's result. And this is a 45, so we look at the ballpark card, and a 45 puts us with a 4, so that plus Nolan's 3 gets us to a single to left field for Bert Campaneris, and he's aboard in the first inning. Might have been Campy's best full season in 1974. He was awfully good, on-base percentage of .347. A lot of years he was not that impressive at getting on base. All right, so Sal Bando steps in, but before we do that, we're going to give Bert Campaneris a shot at trying to get the jump. And so to do that, we look at Campaneris' jump rating, which is a 5. His steal rating is a D, so if we get to that point, we know that. I'm using the sort of the semi-basic version of the stolen base chart right now. I'm going to build in the catcher's arm in future videos, but for right now, we check Nolan's hold rating, which is a 3. Campaneris' steal rating is a 5, or jump rating is a 5. So if we roll a 5 or less, the runner can go. So if we roll a 6, Campy's staying where he is, but anything short of that, he's going. And he's going. So now, we look at the action chart. I'm sorry, the stolen base chart. Which is right here. Nope, it's not. It's right, the action chart's right here. So we're going to look at letter D for Campaneris, and get his result. There's letter D. We roll our 2 D6s, and there he goes. We get a plus result. It's a stolen base or caught stealing. So we roll the blue die. If it's higher than the defense rating, it's a caught stealing. Well, Johnny Bench's defense rating is a 5. So he gets him on a 6. He doesn't get him. It's a stolen base for Campaneris. And the A's have a man on second base with 1 out in the top of the first. Bando in there against Gary Nolan. Pitch to Sal is a 2-3 in his column, which gets us a 16. And plus 5 from Nolan, it gets us to a 21. And a 21 is a fly ball towards George Foster, and he drifts toward the left field line, and he's going to make the catch for out number 2. And now Reggie Jackson against Gary Nolan. The pitch is a 2 for Reggie, and that's grounded to Pete Rose at third. Pete Rose's third base rating is a 3, and that's going to mean that Pete gloves it and fires to Tony Perez, and that will retire Oakland in the first inning. Nothing across, 1 hit, 1 left. All right, so the Reds come to bat against Vida Blue for the first time, and it's Pete Rose. Charlie Hustle comes up with a 3 on his first roll. That's rolled toward Dick Green, and he gloves it and throws to Tennis, and there's 1 man out in the Reds' first. Going to be interesting to see if lefty Vida Blue can control the Reds' attack today. This is a 57 for Joe Morgan, plus a 1 from Vida Blue's card is a 58. And that's in the 6th column, which means that this is a base hit to left field. It lands in front of Joe Rudy, and Morgan is aboard. So now this is the Reds' base stealer, or one of them. And so we'll see how we, well, you know what? With bench coming up, I'm not going to send Morgan quite yet. Blue, the stretch, he checks Morgan, and the pitch is a 32 off Bench's card plus a 2 off Blue's card. That gets us a 34. And Vida Blue strikes him out. That's 2 gone in the first inning. And now we're going to send Morgan. Joe's jump rating is a 6. His steal rating is a B. Vida Blue's hold rating is a 4. Alrighty. Here's our 6. Here's the 4. Oh, I'm sorry. Here's the 6. There's the 4. So he's going. And we'll see what the results turn out to be here. On the steal, it's a 5. And Morgan steals that base. Fire down to Dick Green from Ray Fosse is not in time. And Morgan is at second base for Tony Perez, Mr. RBI, for the Reds. Hit 282 in the 1975 season. Pitch to Tony is a ballpark check. He hit this one hard. We get 4 off of Vida's card. And now we're going to roll for Riverfront Stadium's home run check. Here's our possibilities. Right-handed batting Perez, so we're going to look at that row. It's an 11 to 16, so that gets us a 6. The 11 gets us in the 6. So 6 plus Blues 4 is a 10. And that is a single to center field. North takes it on a hop. Morgan's already around third and coming home. And Perez drives home Morgan with the first run of the game on his single to center field as Billy North's throw comes into second base. And that'll bring up George Foster with 2 outs. Foster at 375 of the pitch. It's a 1-2. That's a 1 on Foster's card. Vida Blue gives us a 2, so that's a total of 3, and that's a strikeout. Vida Blue's second strikeout on the day, and we've played one complete at Riverfront, and the Reds have taken a 1-0 lead as we play replay baseball. All right, so Gary Nolan back on the bump. It'll be Joe Rudy, Gene Tennis, and Ray Fosse for the 74 A's. Excuse me as I take some coffee to try and fight off that persistent cough I have. All right, so Rudy stands in there at 293 on the season for 1974. Okay. A 1-6 is a 45 for Rudy, and that's a 4, which makes it a 49. And Joe strikes out swinging on some off-speed junk by Gary Nolan, and there's one gone in the second inning for Oakland. Now it's Gene Tennis. A's don't want to go down with 2 losses to start their season, so they're looking to get even today. The pitch to Tennis, he hit 211 in 1974, but with a 367 on base average, over 100 walks for Gino. 6'5 is a 36, plus 3 from Nolan's card is a 39, and Nolan on some breaking stuff strikes out Tennis. There's 2 gone in the second inning, and now it's Ray Fosse. Injury-plagued season in 74 for Ray. Only 196, but a fine defensive player. He's a 1 on this roll, and this is grounded to Joe Morgan to his right, and he plants and throws to Perez, and it's a 1-2-3 second inning for Gary Nolan. Played an inning and a half. No runs, no hits, no errors for the A's in the second. And here come the Reds in the bottom of the second. Griffey, Concepcion, and Geronimo. A lot of speed there. Chance to do something if they can get somebody on base. Vida Blue winds, and the pitch is a 5 on Griffey's card and a 2 on Blue's card. And that's going to be popped up. Dick Green in foul territory is going to take it for out number 1 in the bottom of the second. Now it's Concepcion. Dave hit 274 and 75. And the pitch to him is a 31 on Concepcion's card plus a 1. It makes a 32 from Blue. And this is popped up toward Sal Bando. He's under it, and he's going to take it for out number 2. And with Gary Nolan on deck, it's going to be Cesar Geronimo coming up for the Reds with 2 outs and nobody on. Blue winds and delivers a 31 on Geronimo's card, and a 1 on Blue's card makes a 32. And that's going to be popped up one more time to Salbando. And he's going to take it for out number 3. We've played 2 complete now. No runs, no hits, no errors in the second for Cincy. And it is 1-0 Reds. Here comes Oakland for inning number 3. As I get myself a little bit organized here. Alright, so it's going to be Dick Green, Vida Blue, and Billy North coming up in the Oakland third. Green, in his last season in the major leagues, hit 213. And for my money, the best defensive performance I've seen by a player in the 1974 World Series. Unbelievable what that guy did to control that series defensively. Alright. This is a 3 for Green's card and a 5 for Nolan's card, and that is popped up, and that's Pete Rose. He's under it, and he's going to take it for out number 1. Excuse me, there's that persistent cough. Apologize. Here comes Vida Blue, standing in against Nolan. Pitch to Vida is a 36 off his card, and we get 3 off Nolan's card. And Gary gets in with some gas. 3 strikeouts now for Nolan, 2 outs in the Oakland third, and it's the top of the order with Billy North. Pitch to North is a 62 on his card, and 5 more make 67 off of Nolan's card. So that is a line drive base hit that drops in front of Cesar Geronimo for a single. And the A's are going to try and make something happen by sending North. So the hold rating for Nolan is a 3. Jump rating for North is a 6. If he gets the jump, he is a D stealer. So he's going. Jump chart tells us he's going, so we're going to dispense with that roll and get right to the steal, and that is an SBE result. And an SBE result is a stolen base plus a possible throwing error on bench. And we'll see if Johnny makes one of those. Checking his error rating, it's a 44. If the roll is higher than that, there is an error. It's not higher, so North gets his stolen base with 2 outs. He's on second base, and that'll bring up Campaneris. Nolan, tying run 180 feet away to the stretch. The pitch to Campy, and that is going to be a ballpark check, and that's really a range check. Get to the kitchen. It's a range check. We got 5 from Nolan. We're going to roll on our ballpark card for the 2. It's a 34, which gives us a 2. So it's to right field, and if Griffey's range is greater than a 3, he's going to make that catch. It's not. It's a 2. It drops in for a hit. Now, runners advance 2 bases if their speed is higher than the outfielder's arm. Griffey's arm is a 3. North's speed is higher than that, and that means we have a tie game as the single that drops in front of Griffey by Bert Campaneris sends the streaking Billy North. And there's 2 outs, so that would have scored him anyway, regardless. As Campaneris drives in the tying run, we're tied at 1. Still working out the bugs. Still working out the kinks, people. 1-1. Top of the third as Bando comes to the plate and Campy is on first. Nolan the stretch and the pitch. This is a 20 on Bando's card, a 1 with a raised 3 on Nolan's card. So that's a 21, and that's going to be a walk. That's going to send Campaneris to second base, and we consult the action chart, column M, for another roll. It's going to be a 7, a wild pitch chance. The blue die is higher than Nolan's wild pitch of 5. It's a 6 on the blue die, so it's a wild pitch, and the runners move up. So with Reggie Jackson up and runners on second and third, Nolan uncorks a wild pitch. Reds defense at normal depth with 2 outs. The A's have scored a run. It's 1-1 in the top of the third. Jackson is 0 for 1 today. He had 289 in 1974. The pitch from Nolan is an 11 on Reggie's card. It's a 5 on Nolan's card, which makes 16. And that is a base hit to right field. That's going to score Campy from third. And here comes Sal Bando from second. And it's a 2-run single for Jackson. As the A's take their first lead of the series, it's 3-1. Oakland, and Nolan is having some trouble getting out of this third inning. 4 consecutive hits and walks have plated 3 runs for the A's. All right, so Rudy comes to the plate with Reggie at first and 2 men out. Nolan the stretch, and the pitch home to Joe is a 32 on Rudy's card, and a 5 on Nolan's card makes 37. And that is a comebacker that Nolan gloves, takes a few steps toward Perez, and underhand tosses it to him for the third out in the third inning. So the A's come back with a 3-run third and take the lead at 3-1 as we go to the bottom of the third. And Vida Blue has a little bit more confidence now in his approach to pitching these Reds hitters. Gary Nolan will lead off the bottom of the third when pitcher's hitting card number 3. Pitch to Nolan from Vida Blue is a 2-6 on Nolan's card. Just double checking something here. No. Okay, so a 2-6 gets us a 5 on Nolan's card. A 5 gets us a 2 on Blue's card. So 5 and 2 make 7. And that is a pop-up towards Dick Green. And he's going to take it for out number 1 in the Reds' third. Now it's Pete Rose. Rose against Blue. The pitch is a 3-4 for Rose. It's a 57. And a 4 for Blue makes it a 59. And that is a chance for a rare play. Let's see what happens. We got to roll and see if we get an even or an odd number. It's an odd number, so we're going to the rare playbook. Rare playbook. Base is empty. We're going to roll 2 dice. We're going to roll all 3 just in case we need them. And that's a 3. So with 1 out, we get a 3. And it's a grounder into the hole toward Gene Tennis. Pitcher breaks to cover first base. The second baseman fields the ground ball, so Green fields it. Tennis dives. Green gloves it. We're going to roll 1 die against the pitcher's defense rating. Defense rating for Vida is a 4. If the die is higher, both pitcher and throw beat batter to the bag for the out. If it's not, the batter's going to be safe with an infield single. So Charlie Hustle's hustling down the line. If it's a 5 or a 6, Blue's going to make the play. It's a 6. Blue takes the throw from Green, and it's in time to beat Rose to first. So there's 2 outs now in the bottom of the first. And now it's Joe Morgan with nobody aboard. Blue winds and delivers the pitch to Joe. Is a 12 plus Blue's 2 makes it a 14 in the 3 column. And that's a line shot right at Sal Bando, and that will retire the Reds in the third. We've played 3 complete. No runs, no hits, no errors for the Reds in the third. So we played 3 complete. It's 3-1 Oakland as Nolan comes out and tries to have a comeback inning here in the fourth. It's Tennis, Fossey, and Green coming up for Oakland as they try and pad their lead. All right, Tennis. 0 for 1 with a strikeout. The pitch is a 6-1 for Gene. That's a 16. 3 more from Nolan makes 19 in column 6. Has hit in the air to right field. That's Ken Griffey on the run, and he's going to get there for out number 1. In the fourth, Ray Fossey also carrying an 0 for 1. On the day, pitch from Nolan is a 2-5. That's a 16 for Ray, and a 5 makes 21 on column 2. And that's hit to left field, but not deep. George Foster's going to get there, and there's 2 gone. Nobody aboard. Dick Green up. Vida Blue on deck. The pitch to Dick is a 32 plus 4 from Nolan makes 36. That's a comebacker to Gary. He gloves it and throws to Perez, and that will retire the Oakland A's in 1-2-3 fashion in the 4th inning. Go to the bottom of the 4th. It's 3-1 Oakland. Looking forward to the arrival of the Replay Baseball Franchise All-Star set, which should be, I hope, any day, and going to feature that on the channel. On Monday morning, I'll be doing a review of the book that Pete Ventura used to help him set up the set, called Now Taking the Field, and I'll be talking lots more about that book on Monday morning at 10 a.m. For those of you that like my book review show, it's coming back Monday morning at 10 a.m. All right, so bottom of the 4th, meat of the order for the Reds. Bench, Perez, Foster. Pitch to Johnny is a 2-4, which is a 16, plus 1 from Vida Blue is a 17. And that's a strikeout. With the bases empty, Vida Blue picks up his 3rd strikeout and his 2nd strikeout of Johnny Bench in this game. 1 gone in the bottom of the 4th. Now it's Perez. Pitch from Vida. 16 on Perez's card. A 4 from Blue is a 17, and we got the same thing. 2 strikeouts in a row. 4 in the game for Blue. And with 2 outs and nobody aboard, it's Foster. Big George hitting 5th today. He was also a strikeout victim of Vida Blues in his first time up. That's a 1 for Foster and a 2. Oh, I'm sorry. That's not true. Yeah, it is. A 1-2 is a 1 for Foster, and a 2 from Blue makes 3, and that means Vida has struck out the side. He's got 5 strikeouts now, 3 up, 3 down for the Reds in the 4th. We go to the 5th. And it's 3-1 Oakland. Vida will lead off the 5th for the A's. Then the top of the order with North and Campaneris, and they have caused problems for the Reds in this one. All right, so Vida is 0 for 1. Nolan winds and delivers to him. It's a 1-4, which is a 4. And a 3 from Nolan is a 4, so that's a total of 8. And that's a pop-up toward Rose. 1 gone. As Pete dribbles the ball on Riverfront's AstroTurf as he runs it over to Nolan. North, 1 for 2, a stolen base, run score in the game so far. The pitch to Billy is a 6-4. That's a 51 for North, and 3 more from Nolan makes it a 54 for the 6th column. And that's a base hit to right field. That's a base hit to right field for North, and Nolan just can't seem to keep the speedsters off base for the A's. And we have a range check. Get to the kitchen. My God, it's a gas leak. It's a gas leak. Oh, my God. Get to the kitchen. We got to check Griffey's range. Chance for extra bases. So, we're going to roll 1 die against the defense rating. It's a 2 for Griffey. It's a 2 on the roll. So, he cuts it off and keeps it from getting past him. So, North is at first with a single. Now it's Campaneris. We're in the 5th. Now it's tempting to send North here. But we're going to try something a little different. I think I'm going to give Campy the hit and run sign. 1 out, 1 on. Bando on deck. A's leading 3-1. Nolan the stretch checks North, and it's got a hit and run. So to do the hit and run, we add the red number, which is a 3. We look on Campy's card, that gives us a reading of a 2. And then we look at Nolan's card, which is a 1, so that's a 4, so it's a total of a 6. This is a ground ball towards Joe Morgan. Into the hole. Now, we have to check Morgan's range. It's a range check for Morgan. His range is a 1. If I roll a 1, the ball is going to get through. If I roll anything else, Morgan's going to make the play and throw to Perez. He does make the play, throw to Perez. North moves up to second base. So they avoid the double play, but Campaneris does not get on. And with 2 outs and North in scoring position, it's Bando. Now, Gary Nolan's stamina is a 26 in this game. So we're watching that carefully. He has now faced 20 batters. All right, so North's at second. There's 2 outs. Bando at the plate. Nolan the stretch. Checks North. The pitch home is a 6-4 for Bando. That's a 59. And a 4 for Nolan. That's a 63. And that's trouble. That's going to get down the line past Rose and rattle around in the corner. Foster's got to go get it. He digs it out and throws it back in. That'll score North easily from second base. And Bando makes it to second with a double. So, we have a 4-1 Oakland lead as a result of Bando's RBI double. That's going to cause action to start in the Reds bullpen as Captain Hook is a little slow on the switch here today. It's the 5th inning, and the Reds bullpen yesterday in their game used Bourbon and Eastwick, so we're going to get Clay Carroll starting in the Reds bullpen today. Reggie Jackson stands in. First base is open. They're going to pitch to Reggie. Bando at second, 2 men out. North already in. It's 4-1. A's were in the top of the 5th. The pitch from Nolan is a 16, and that's grounded toward Morgan. We have a possible error. We had to do an error check on Morgan. Morgan's error number is a 55, so if we can stay under that, he's going to make the play. And we do. Morgan collects it and throws to Tony Perez, and that will retire Oakland in the 5th. But they add an insurance run and now lead by 3. We're halfway through. And it's 4-1 A's as we go to the bottom of the 5th. So Vida Blue comes out doing an excellent job. Since the first inning, he has now retired 10 in a row, and he struck out the side in the bottom of the 4th. Ken Griffey, Dave Concepcion, and Cesar Geronimo in the bottom of the 5th. If anybody gets on, it'll be Gary Nolan's spot, and likely a pinch hitter for him. So Blue winds and delivers to Griffey. That's a 5 on Ken's card toward the shortstop, Concepcion. He gloves it and throws to Tennis, and there's 1 man out, and that means 11 in a row have been retired by Vida Blue. Now it's Concepcion, 0 for 1 for Davey. The pitch, 3-3 is a 5 for Concepcion, and that's 2 for Vida, so that's a total of 7. And that's a base hit that sneaks through into left field past the glove of Bert Campaneris, and Concepcion is on with a single. Now it's Geronimo. And it looks like we're going to be seeing Nolan's spot come up. So it's going to be... boy. It's going to be Merv Rettenmund coming into the on-deck circle to pinch hit for Gary as Geronimo comes to the plate. Give you Nolan's numbers as soon as Rettenmund comes to the plate. 1 out, 1 on. Blue to the belt, checks Concepcion at first, and the pitch to Cesar is a 2 from his card, plus a 2 from Blue's card is a 4. And that's strikeout number 6 for Vida Blue. 2 gone now in the Reds' 5th, and here comes the pinch hitter, excuse me, for Nolan, and it's Merv Rettenmund. So we have some bookkeeping here. Tell you about Merv. He was acquired from the Orioles before the 74 season. Never really hit with the Reds. In 75, he had 239 and sort of kinda platooned with Griffey for a while, but then Griffey took over the job full time later in the year. So Rettenmund's going to bat for Nolan. Concepcion is on first. Let's tell you about Nolan's pitching line today. He went 5 innings. He allowed 6 hits. He allowed 4 runs. They're all earned. He didn't walk anybody. Oh, no, that's not true. He walked 1 man. He walked Bando. And he struck out 2 batters. He did not allow any home runs. He didn't hit any batters. He is in line for the loss unless the Reds can reverse things here. So Concepcion at first, 2 men out. Blue the stretch. The pitch to Rettenmund is a 5-5, which makes a 20 on Rettenmund's card. Plus a 6 on Blue is 24. And a 24 in the 5 column is ball 4. So Rettenmund draws a walk. As you can see on his card, his on-base average was a 356, so he was drawing walks in 75. There's 2 on now with 2 outs, and we have to check the action chart as Rose is at the plate. Got to check the action chart, column M. It's a 9, wild pitch check. So we have a roll of a 4. And Blue's wild pitch is a 2, and because the roll is higher than the wild pitch rating, that is a wild pitch that Blue uncorks, sending Concepcion to third and Rettenmund to second. So Rose has a chance for a couple of RBIs if he can get a 2-out hit here. Blue the stretch, checks the runners, and the pitch to Pete is a 3-4. That's a 57 on his card. Plus a 3 on Blue's card makes it a 60 in column 3. And that's a potential rare play check. And it is a rare play check. So, second and third with 2 outs. We got to re-roll our bones, and we get a 12. 12 on the rare play. Center fielder Billy North races back to the wall and leaps to try and haul in the long drive. We got to check Billy North's defense. It's a range check. Got to the kitchen. I think I smell gas. It's a 5. Billy North's rating is a 5. If the die roll is lower, he makes an outstanding leaping catch. He doesn't. It deflects off his glove and bounces away. So here comes Rose. He's around second. The runners score. Concepcion from third. Rettenmund from second. Rose is going to make it all the way to third with a triple. And he has put the Reds back in this game at 4-3. So North could not quite make the play, went off his glove, and Rose went all the way to third base. It's 4-3 A's, and Blue has to get Joe Morgan, or the Reds are going to tie this game if he drives home Rose. Blue, the stretch, checks Rose at third, the pitch home. 1-1 is a 30 from Morgan, plus 1 from Blue's card is a 32, and he walks Morgan. First and third for the Reds, first and third with 2 outs for bench. Again, could send him, but no. Not with bench up and a chance to tie the game or take the lead. Bench has struck out twice against Blue. Vida to the belt, the pitch home. Uh-oh, it's an 11. On Bench's card, it's a 4 for Blue. That's going to be deep to left field and Rudy to the wall, and there's no bringing it back. It's gone for Bench. A 3-run job, and it's now 6-4 Reds as they have put together a 5-run bottom of the 5th. And I didn't get anybody up in the bullpen. So quickly, the A's are going to have to get somebody up, and it's going to be Glenn Abbott coming on, as Blue has allowed 6 runs, and that means it's bye-bye time for the starting pitcher. So Vida went from cruising along to his day being done. Vida in 4 2/3 innings allowed 5 hits. He allowed 6 runs. They're all earned. He walked 2 men, and both of them in this deadly 5th inning. He struck out 6. He allowed the home run to Bench. He did not hit any batters, and he uncorked no wild pitches. He is now in line for the loss. And it'll be Tony Perez coming on to face Abbott with nobody aboard and 2 outs. It's 6-4 Reds in the bottom of the 5th. Abbott winds and delivers to Tony. That's a 4-2. That's a 2 on Perez's card toward Sal Bando. He gloves it, he plants, he throws to tennis. And that retires the side, but not before the Reds score 5 runs on 3 hits. And they leave none. There were no errors. After 5 complete, it's 6-4 Cincinnati at Riverfront Stadium. The new pitcher for the Reds, as Rettenmund hit for Nolan in the top of the inning. So the new pitcher for the Reds will be Clay Carroll. Carroll was in 54 games in 1975. He threw 96 innings with a 262 earned run average. He was 7-5 with 7 saves. It'll be Rudy, Tennis, and Fossey in the top of the 6th for Oakland. Joe is 0 for 2 in the game so far. The A's have some work to do to get their way back into this one. The pitch is a 2-6 on Rudy's card, and we've got a drive. We got a range check. Get to the kitchen. I smell gas. 3 on Carroll's card is a 4. So we're on the 59 range. This one is hit to center field. So it's Cesar Geronimo that's getting tested on this one. And Cesar's defensive rating is a 5. So we're in the 2 column. We're going to roll our 2. Oh, we got a 66. That's a 5. And it's going to drop for a base hit as Rudy gets a single in front of Geronimo. And Rudy Rudy can get a double, but he's not fast enough to do it. And so he settles for a single, and here comes Tennis. Tennis is 0 for 2. Rudy at first. A's down by 2. The pitch to Gino. 16 on his card. A 2-5 is a 16. Plus a 4 makes 20. And this one is hit to right field. Ken Griffey toward the line, and he's going to make the catch for out number 1. Now it's Fosse. Rays on an 0 for 2 day. Carroll the stretch. Checks Rudy. The pitch is a 2-5. That's a 16 on Fosse's card. Plus 4 is hit to right field. Griffey coming in and makes the catch for out number 2. And now it's Green. Glenn Abbott standing in the on-deck circle. Not Jack Abbott, Glenn Abbott. And I'm embarrassed to say I'm Jack Abbott. There's my Victor Newman imitation for Jack Abbott. There's my Victor Newman imitation for you. You don't get that. You don't get that on every YouTube channel, a Victor Newman imitation. Where is Jack Abbott? All right, Dick Green coming to the plate, 0 for 2, the pitch. 5-4 is a 45 with a 2 on Carroll's card makes 46. And that is hit to center field. And it's, oh, wait a minute, no. There are men on base, so we're checking the action chart. Got to check the action chart to POE. That means we all have to stop and read the Raven. That reference might be a little too abstract. All right, possible error on the pickoff attempt. We got to roll against the pitcher's error rating. Does Clay Carroll make an error? If I roll a 66, he did. No, I didn't. So he gets back. Now we're going to roll again for Green. 6-5, 31 plus 2, and 31 on Green's card plus 2 on Carroll's card makes 33. And it's popped up. Joe Morgan. Just into the outfield, will make the catch, and that retires the A's in the 6th. So Carroll does his job, and we're going to the bottom of the 6th. It's 6-4 Reds. Abbott will face Foster, Griffey, Concepcion in the Reds' 6th inning. The pitch from Abbott to Foster. Excuse me. 4-1 is a 6. 4-6 is a 1. That's grounded to Tennis. He's going to flip to Abbott covering, and that will be out number 1 in the 6th inning. Here comes Griffey. The wind and the pitch from Glenn is a 5-4. That's a 4 on Griffey's card, and a 3 makes a 6 total, and that's going to be a walk. All right. Well, Sparky's going to send Griffey. His jump is a 3. He's a D stealer. Abbott's hold is a 3. So we'll see what happens here. 3-3. So if I roll a 3 or less, Griffey gets to go. I did not, so Griffey stays. Concepcion at the plate. 1 man out. Pitch from Abbott is a 5-6. That's a 3. Plus 2 more from Abbott makes a 5. And that's grounded to Bando. He goes to Green for 1. The relay to first to Tennis is not in time. Concepcion beats the rap at first. There's 2 outs and a man aboard for Geronimo. Clay Carroll in the on-deck circle. Abbott the stretch. And the pitch to Cesar. 4-4 is a 2 And that's a 1 on tennis, and he's going to take it himself as Gene gloves it and steps on the bag, and that retires the Reds in the 6th. So Abbott does his job. Now we go to the 7th. Carroll is out for inning number 2, and Abbott's spot is due up, and then the top of the order for the A's. North and then Campaneris in the top of the 7th. So, against the right-hander Clay Carroll, here comes rookie Claudell Washington to pinch hit for Glenn Abbott. Claudell, 285 in 1974, 73 games, played all 3 outfield spots, as you can see on his card, standing in there against Carroll. 5-5 is a 15 on Claudell's card and a 4, so that makes 19, and that's chopped on the infield. And nobody can make a play. Claudell's legs are going to get him that single, and he is aboard. Now with North up, we have to check for the action chart. 5 is a wild pitch check. And Clay Carroll's wild pitch is 2, and our wild pitch number is a 3, and that means Clay Carroll's uncorked a wild pitch. That's going to get action going in the Reds bullpen, as Bill North is the tying run at the plate. So it's Will McEnany getting up. And what the heck, why not? Pedro Borbon is going to get up as well. So North is up. Washington, Claudell Washington at second base. Reds lead 6-4. We're in the top of the 7th. Carroll to stretch. The pitch to Billy North is an 11. That's grounded to Morgan. He's a 1, so that makes a 12. And we have a possible error. Morgan's error number is a 55. So if I'm under that, he does not make an error. I'm under that. It's a 33. And so that'll send Claudell to third base, and there's 1 out now. Campaneris coming to the plate. Man on third. Reds lead by 2. Bando is on deck. Carroll to stretch. The pitch to Campy. 4-6 is an 18. That's hit to first base. Perez's defense is a 2. So that's a 20. The infield is back. Tony's going to flip to Carroll covering, and that will retire Campaneris. But Washington scores from third, and it's 6-5 now. And it's Bando coming to the plate with 2 outs and nobody aboard. 6-5 Reds, top of the 7th. The pitch to Sal Bando is a 2 and a 3 for Carroll. And he strikes him out. That's Carroll's first strikeout. So the leadoff single comes around to score, but Carroll prevents further damage. And we go to the 7th inning stretch with the score Cincinnati 6, Oakland 5. Gonna need a new pitcher for Oakland. And it's going to be the venerable Paul Lindblad. A really, really, really underrated pitcher in my judgment during his career. Abbott went an inning and a third. He walked a batter, but that's the only marks on his ledger, so he did a good job. Lindblad is on. He will bat 9th in the Oakland order. He will face Clay Carroll, who is going to be hit for. And then the top of the order with Rose and Morgan. Excuse me. Also throwing in the Oakland bullpen is John Blue Moon Odom. All right, so the Reds are going to send up a pinch hitter for Clay Carroll, and it's going to be Ed Armbrister. Carlton Fisk's good friend from the 1975 World Series. So, Lindblad will face the right-handed hitting Armbrister. He hit 185 in 1975. He is a right-handed batter. Lindblad is a lefty. Lindblad's numbers: 43 games in relief, 2 starts, 101 innings, 206 earned run average, 4-4 record, 6 saves. We're in the bottom of the 7th. The Reds lead by 1. They would love an insurance run. 2-2 is a 1, and a 6 is a 4, so that's a total of 5. And Armbrister strikes out to lead off the bottom of the 7th. Here comes D. Rose. Lindblad's pitch is a 1-6. That's a 45 for Rose. And a 3 for Lindblad, so that's 48. Hey, he struck him out. That's 2 strikeouts for Lindblad. And now it's Morgan with bench on deck. Bench's home run put him ahead in the 5th. Morgan's 1 for 2 with a walk. He has scored twice. He has stolen a base. The pitch is a 6-1. 57 for Morgan, 58. And that's a base hit to left field. That's a base hit to left field for Morgan, and here comes Bench. Lindblad's hold is a 2. They're going to send Morgan on the B. With 2 outs, they're sending him. We're looking in the B column. 8 POE means we have to read the Raven again. And it's a possible error, so we're checking. His error number is a 43, so if we stay below that, or if we go above that, it's an error. It's not an error, so Morgan gets back. So Bench will hit. 2 outs, Morgan at first. Bottom of the 7th, the pitch. 32 for Bench. 33 plus gets you from Lindblad's card. 32 plus 1 gets you the 33. And that's lined, and Billy North to his right, and he's going to put it away for out number 3. So Lindblad gets out of the 7th inning with no damage. So we go to the Oakland 8th. We're going to get a new pitcher for Cincinnati because Armbrister pinch hit for Carroll. Clay Carroll's numbers: 2 innings, 2 hits, 1 run. It was earned. He struck out 1. Will McEnany, the left-hander in Sparky Anderson's 1975 bullpen, is on. For the 8th inning, the Reds lead 6-5. Jackson, Rudy, and Tennis are coming to the plate, and Pedro Borbon is warming in the bullpen. Will McEnany on to face Jackson. Reggie is 1 for 3. He had a 2-run single back in the 3rd. The pitch. 4-6 is a 16 for Reggie, and that's a 5. That's grounded to Concepcion, so we're going to do an error check. And that is a 46. His error check is 46. And he makes the play. There's 1 gone in the 8th. Sparky, I think, would stick with McEnany here, so I'm going to as well. Rudy up. The pitch to Joe. 16. A 2-4 is a 16 on Rudy's card, and a 3 makes 19. This is it to center field, but Geronimo's got room, and there's 2 down. And now it's Tennis. 2 down, nobody aboard. The pitch, 1-1 is a 30 on Gene's card, plus 3 from McEnany makes 33. He walked him. Now it's tempting to run Herb Washington here for tennis. Yeah, I think I'm going to do it. So here comes Hurricane Herb, making his first appearance. Here's Herb Washington's card. There's 2 outs. Fossey at the plate. Washington on first base. McEnany's hold is a 3. Washington will be going. His jump is a 6. His column is an E. All right. Eight. There he goes. Gotta read the Raven again. We're getting a little sick of that. Actually, if you've read Poe, the first time through might make you a little sick of it. You might not need it 3 times. It's a possible error on the pickoff attempt. The error is a 65, so if I clear that, nope. Herb gets back. And I'm going to call back Fossey at this point and hit for him. And it's going to be Jesus Alou. No, it's not. Yeah, it is. It's going to be Jesus Alou hitting for Fossey here in the 8th. Washington at first, speedster. McEnany, the stretch. The pitch home to Alou is a 50 plus 3, so it's a 53. And it's a comebacker, gloved by McEnany. He's going to turn and throw to Perez, and that will retire Oakland in the 8th. So we're going to need a couple of changes. We're going to send Alou out to left field and Rudy to first base. And the new catcher will be Larry Haney. And Haney will bat in Tennis's spot. All right, so down by a run, the A's got to hold them right where they're at and hope they can do something in the 9th. Okay, so Lindblad back out for inning number 2, bottom of the 8th, 6-5 Reds. Perez, Foster, and Griffey coming up. All right, so Perez, Foster, and Griffey. Here's the pitch from Lindblad. Reds need an insurance run. 6-3 is a 16 for Perez. Plus 2 makes 18. This is hit to left. Jesus Alou toward the line is going to make the catch for out number 1. Now it's Foster. George is 0 for 3. The pitch, 4-4. On Foster's card is a 2. A 5 is shortstop, so it's grounded to Campaneris. And he throws to Joe Rudy for out number 2. And now it's Ken Griffey. Griffey's 0 for 2 with a walk. The pitch is a 3-6. That's a 47. Plus 1 from Lindblad's 3 is a 48. And it's a leaping catch by Green. A 1-2-3 8th inning for Lindblad. As he works two perfect innings. He allowed 1 hit, struck out 2, and that's it for his line. So we go to the top of the 9th. It's 6-5 Cincinnati. And I got Eastwick up in the Reds bullpen. in case McEnany hits a bump. Green, Lindblad, and North. So it's bench time for Oakland. Angel Mangual is in the on-deck circle. Green will bat against McEnany. All right. A's need one to tie. 6-5 Reds, top of the ninth. The pitch from McEnany. It's a 1-1. That's a 1 for Green. It's a 3 for McEnany. It's a total of 4, and he strikes out Green. That's McEnany's first strikeout. Now it's going to be Mangual. Angel, 233 on the 74 season. Pinch hitting for Lindblad. Pitch from McEnany to Mangual. 5-6 is a 27. Plus 3 from McEnany's card makes 30. That's hit to center field. Here comes Geronimo, and that's 2 down. Now it's North. This is McEnany's last batter, maybe. He's got a 3 here, so 3 batters. Unless somebody reaches, then you got to come out. But if North reaches, it's going to be Eastwick to face Campaneris. McEnany, the wind, and the pitch to North is a 2-3. That's a 2, and it's a 1 on McEnany's card. He strikes him out, and that's the ball game. Second strikeout for McEnany. He gets himself a 2-inning save as the Reds win 6-5. Give you the totals. Here, McEnany went 2 innings, no hits. He walked 1. He struck out 2. And gets the save. The win goes to Clay Carroll. He is 1-0. And McEnany gets his first save. On the Oakland side, the loss goes to Vida Blue. He is 0-1. Totals for the game for the victorious Reds: 6 runs on 6 hits. And they made no errors. For the vanquished 74 Oakland A's, 5 runs on 8 hits, and they made no errors as well. All right, so that is your box score for the ball game. Thank you so much for joining me. My next game will be the 1962 Giants against the 1968 Tigers. Should be an interesting one from Tiger Stadium. Hope you'll join me. Stay tuned to my channel. Please click like and subscribe. Let me know what you thought of the game in the comments section below. Have a wonderful, wonderful day. Thank you again for joining me. And so long, everybody.